Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Glad to be here with you again for another piece of content for this week. I got really tied up last week, so I'm going to actually be doubling up this week. Today's Monday, the day after the Super Bowl. Um, but last week, yeah, I got really caught up with a lot of stuff. So I'm going to be doing content today and tomorrow. So I look forward to that. So for today, I had gotten a lot of questions recently about explaining what Zen is. What is Zen? And that's a question for the ages, isn't it? Um, so for the purposes of ourselves here, I'll again give it very much of a nutshell type of definition. One way to describe it is complete immersion in the present moment as we are experiencing it. And it sounds very simple, and quite frankly, it is that simple, but simple and easy are two different things. And so, for us to completely immerse ourselves in the present moment of what is happening, whether it's something wonderful, horrible, and anywhere in between, joyous, terrifying, what have you, and everywhere in between. It's complete immersion in that experience. And it sounds simple enough, but as you could imagine, especially in this day and age of technology, and I'm not some anti tech person, it has its place and uses. It's kind of like to go back to a primitive example, like a knife. Okay. A knife has been a tool that has been in use for thousands and thousands, and quite frankly, millions of years, really, in some shape or form. A knife is the most basic, one of the most basic primitive tools. And if somebody was to hand you a knife and you didn't know what a knife is, as most children at some point, we don't know what a knife is. And so somebody hands you a knife, let's say, I don't know, at 3 years old, you don't really know yet that that's a knife, and it'd be horrible to do this, but to hand the child the knife, not tell them that this is a knife, and give them the blade first. We're holding the handle, and we give the child the knife and say, here. Well, they're likely to grab the blade of that knife because they don't know what a knife is. They don't know that it's sharp, can cut, can cause a whole lot of damage. And they're going to reach out for that and grab it and, fill in the blank. There's going to be blood, there's going to be tears, there's going to be maybe a hospital visit. It's going to be horrible. However, a knife just sitting on its own is just that. It's not going to cause any damage. And it's certainly not going to cause any damage once we know what it is and what it's capable of. And so it's not the knife inherently that is dangerous. It's a person's lack of awareness of what a knife might be, and also others' lack of responsibility in teaching someone that that is what it is and that it can be dangerous. So it's how we use a tool. So anyway, yeah, technology is the same way. It's not inherently dangerous, but it's how we, as human beings, use it. So anyway, Zen is complete awareness of the present moment and immersion in that, and that takes time, a lot of time, and a lot of practice to learn how to do that, how to immerse ourselves in the present moment fully, deeply, from every fiber of our being. And so, getting back to the technology thing, it that tends to happen less and less nowadays. Distractions, notifications, social media posts, people wanting to be liked by everything and everyone from what they've posted on social media. Um, and that's just one facet of it. So it's a lot easier in this day and age to get drawn out of ourselves by those distractions. It certainly is, because it didn't exist years ago. Anyone who's about 40, the age of about 45 or older, will know what I'm talking about. It just was not part of our inherent daily life years ago. So yeah, that's essentially is what Zen is the ability to see things. In addition to all of that, the ability to see things objectively as such. So with being able to immerse ourselves in the present moment fully, deeply, completely, as a healthy byproduct of being able to do that is being able to see things as it is, the good, the bad, the ugly, and all of it. So it's not just a matter of us immersing ourselves in the present moment fully, deeply, uh, but with rose-colored glasses on, let's say, or on the other end is not seeing things way worse than they actually are, and not seeing things as way better than they actually are. That's kind of a form of, that's pretty much what denial is. A person, it implies that the word denial is people wanting to see things. It could be a very objectively, realistically, it's a terrible situation, something very unfortunate, let's say. Objectively, not a desirable situation to be in, and because someone's in denial, it's like, nah, it's not that bad. It's fine, and so denial is very dangerous. So that's seeing things through quote unquote rose colored glasses. And then people certainly, anxiety is sort of what that implies, is seeing things as, whether it's in the immediate moment or looking towards the future, as way worse than it actually is. So both of those things are examples, as an example of being non-objective and seeing things other than what they actually are. Um, so yeah, that's in a nutshell, for our purposes today, what Zen is complete immersion in the present moment, objectively, deeply, and as I mentioned, with all of the potential and actual distractions that we can run into in this day and age. It's getting more difficult to do that, but I've always said, I've made it almost my life mission nowadays to help individuals. It's not only, I say it's not only important, but it's becoming more necessary as life goes on and technology continues to advance, and it will continue to advance and move faster and faster.